Hey everybody, this is Eve with Detox with Ease. Detox with Ease fame. I cured my chemical sensitivity about 10 years ago. I've been helping people for a long time get well. So I'm just reading to you a little bit from my book. I just have a few minutes. Kind of got to rush out. But if you're new, hit the subscribe button, the bell button, and all. That way you know when I'm going to come on live. And you can come ask me any question you want. And don't forget to put comments in the bottom, smash the likes. This helps my content get out to other people, and it encourages me to actually keep doing it. Okay, so I read a little bit yesterday about my chemical sensitivity, and I'm going to read a little bit today. So what I said was, in order to get well, I needed to know the toxicity of everything I came into contact. For years, I studied the toxicity of various products. Sorry, I'm still editing. I spent countless hours researching and making phone calls to companies that produce every conceivable product from cheese to backpacks. Years were spent studying and trying various daily healing techniques. I studied every organ and body system, including the emotions and energy fields. I did have 2 people edit this, but it's still pretty rough. I mean, it's not really rough. It's just a tiny bit rough. I'm a perfectionist, okay? All right. Not a perfectionist, but I want it just to be like a bestseller. I passed countless healing hours in the forest and became a nature mystic and studied and practiced many forms of spiritual healing. I'm a better writer than I was back then. So that's like a one sentence, but basically I spent, a whole year in the forest grounding. Personally, I think grounding in nature is the maybe number one healing modality. I mean, you don't know which is the one that healed you, but I would feel terrible. I would go walk in the forest until I felt better, and I would always get into a good feeling state. I had a lot of kind of energy and very sensitive to the electromagnetic waves, all that. I'm really missing grounding these days. I'm trying to move to the country. I can just walk outside a little bit barefoot every day. Grounding, amazing. It's in the book. There's an amazing documentary called Grounded. If you can watch it, watch it. It's these guys from the National Geographic did a very studious, academic, really well-made documentary. I haven't heard of it since it came out. Okay. I could not find one person who had ever healed from multiple chemical sensitivity, MCS. It's a deadly, life-stopping illness, and I was not going to accept that. I was determined to get well. Yeah, that's just my personality. When my body was finally functioning much better, I had to retrain my brain not go into the anxiety, fight or flight response at every little synthetic smell. I was so afraid of chemicals that it took a while to be able to not sweat and panic at every smell. So what happens is actually your brain, when it smells a toxin it's not familiar with, is going to set off the fight or flight. So that's one of the reasons why toxins cause anxiety, because your body, we're thousands and thousands of years without using these toxins. So we smell something new, and even though, you might think, Febreze is great, your brain is like, what is this? Is it dangerous? What do I do with it? So it's actually causing anxiety. That's why when you're walking through a field, like lilies, unless you have that kind of allergies, you're breathing in the smells of the natural herbs and things. You're actually getting into a well-being state. Your body's very familiar with those. Your body knows those are healing properties. So it's really the opposite with toxins. Every toxin that we're smelling is sending off small signals in the brain. Blah, blah, blah. After I learned everything about toxins, I needed to make peace with them and not dwell on the injustice and insanity of the state of affairs. Even though I'm aware of the chemicals in everything. It's kind of weird. So that's what I'm saying. Also, in the MCS, if you have multiple chemical sensitivity, or then when maybe you detox your body, maybe you heal your body, but your brain, when it smells Febreze or anything, perfume, anything, Comet cleaner, whatever toxin that used to really make you react, probably all toxins if you're multiple chemical sensitivity, then your body's going to immediately go into fight or flight, because we all have PTSD if from chemicals, just like everybody now is like PTSD from this COVID stuff. So, so what happens is, as you're getting well, you're maybe reacting to certain chemicals, and other reactions are your brain reacting and sending you into a state. I tested it out a lot. I did a lot of weird experiments on myself. I won't call them weird, but I used to take like either like anti-anxiety medication, which was prescribed, or drink, because I'd be like, is this a real reaction, or am I just afraid of your reaction and then it's causing it? And in some cases it was the anxiety, other cases it was the toxins. But so you do need to heal your brain so that it doesn't freak out every time it smells one of these familiar, awful smells. And you need to learn how to breathe, relax, move forward. And, that's, everyone gets upset when I say that who has MCS, because they're like, oh, does that mean you're going to go, use all these toxins? And the answer is no. I mean, mostly I don't use toxins, although I do use some that I did not used to. And, because I can, but I don't just like randomly fill my house with toxins. Like, it also causes cancer, obesity, erectile dysfunction, bad mood. Why am I going to put that back into my life just because it's not making me immediately sick? So I try to live a pretty detox life. That said, I do have stuff that I wouldn't dream of having before. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, yeah, there was that process after healing, detoxing, healing, then really retraining my brain. I had a brain retraining program. I still do some coaching with it, but and I have an abs program, which includes Wim Hof breathing, which is very retraining. And I also do some meditation I have a Zoom gym. I'll put the link eventually, or you can just Google down like 2 more videos of mine and you'll see my abs challenge program. But a lot of this started as a body mind thing. I mean, everybody pretty much knows today, like your body and your mind are very intimately connected, and, sitting around and not really moving your body in really healthy ways and getting your body like in a good position, it's pretty hard to feel good in your mind. And it's a part of any healing program. So doing some abs, amazing. It's actually like moving your organs, putting blood flow, cleaning your lymphatic system, as well as yoga, which is offered dance, blah, blah. Taking my programs, good deal. But so I did spend a lot of time, and still do, with this brain retraining, because once you get into brain retraining, it's amazing. Like, you realize that you can really change just habitual negative thinking. You can go in there and you can do self-hypnosis for fears. In my case, I think in most people's cases, it takes some time. You can't just go to one hypnotist and they're going to fix you forever. If you know any really amazing hypnotists like that, let me know, because that's not generally how it works. I mean, you can go to other hypnotists, find a good one, or you can do it yourself. Or the best way to do is like a daily, meditation, different ways to calm down, to relax, to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, which can be yoga. I started doing yoga just so I would breathe. I really didn't used to breathe. A lot of my unwell being, I'll just call it that. My state of illness that I was in, it was definitely coincided with some very tense times that I had. A lot of stress, a lot of PTSD, a lot of shocking catastrophes and stuff like that. So these things are known to cause any kind of illness, especially chemical sensitivity, because it's very related to the brain and the nervous system and the sense of smell. And if it wasn't before, if you just say there's people like Sherry Rogers and many people who got a very high toxic dose of toxins, like when they used to spray DDT, like just spray it like all over the place, and they used to follow the truck as kids. Like that's part of her story. I love her books, Sherry Rogers. If you have MCS, I would definitely recommend them. But even if your cause of your chemical sensitivity is toxic overload, because of the nature of being that sick from chemicals, you do have a trauma that also needs to be healed too. So it's super traumatic if you have MCS. I mean, it's the worst. I've had a lot of awful things happen in this life, and I guess it was really the worst because you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. People don't understand. It's just like a nightmare. So that said, smash the likes, put some comments, ask some questions, and then maybe I'll answer them in another live stream. I'm going to try to come on daily or almost daily, so hit the subscribe bell button and all, and I'll keep on with my book. Take care. Ciao.